Flippin' Fantastic Podcast, episode 31. I am Alicia the Inked Picker.
And I'm Mo87 Official. How y'all doing?
Woo!
Hope you had a good week.
It's
and a good weekend.
Tuesday right now. Yes. How was your weekend? Did you go hit sales?
No, I
Or
did
anything
not. There weren't a lot, and I had some other things to do, and I have a gigantic death pile, as you know. I keep telling you that. I need to take pictures. It's just, it's ridiculous. And and then I went on a paranormal ghost hunt on Sunday night. But and then Saturday I had stuff to do. But there really wasn't anything. There wasn't any good sales. There was like one that looked like they were just selling off or they bought pallets or their eBay. You know what I mean? Like it was just that kind of stuff. So I just didn't go out. It's too hot. How about you?
I went to a few. I'm trying to think. Like, it's so weird. It was just a few days ago, but I can't remember what I just did last weekend. I did find a few things. One sale, I actually kind of bribed someone. I was like, hey, can I shop your sale early and I'll pay you a bit extra?
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they actually, they did it. And I was like, cool. So I ended up finding a vintage Barbie sleeping bag, kind of like I have a Rainbow Bright one that's about the same size, kind of like a toddler size, but it's Barbie, and I'm like, perfect. I'm like, because I have no Barbie stuff right now, really.
Yeah.
So with the Barbie movie coming out, of course, everyone's trying to list all that. So I got that. I got a pair of Doc Martens, a couple pairs of couple fossil leather belts. I'm trying to think what else. That's pretty much it, but it was like $18 and I gave them 25. And it was cool. They're like, yeah, come on over. So I was able to shop 2 hours early at the sale. They had a bunch of video games, but as I looked, they were all scratched or missing out of the case and I was just like, I'm not going to deal with them. So, but I was hoping to buy all the video games, but they were just, the pricing also was kind of not great. So I was happy with that.
That's cool.
That's pretty much the biggest haul I had this weekend. Was that sale. And, I went to a couple other sales and bought maybe a couple things here or there, but nothing like huge. So it's kind of slowing down here, especially I think this week is when back to school starting. So I'm thinking everyone's just busy with that right now.
Yeah. They, it starts around here. Like teachers go back next week and then the kids the week after. So It's too hot here. It's like 1,000,000 degree. Well, it's not even temperature wise not that hot. It's only like it's in the upper 80s, but the humidity outside right now is like 90%. It's disgusting.
I've heard like a lot of people on the Discord complaining about the heat lately.
Yeah, it's just hot everywhere.
Actually, yesterday it was around 75. Today it looks like it's around 82. And it looks like it's supposed to get to over 100 degrees this weekend, which does not look fun. Luckily, I stay inside most of the time.
Yeah. 75 to 80 sounds nice. Yeah,
I'm ready for fall. I started thinking about chili yesterday, and I'm like, I can't wait until chili season, so I start making chili. I mean, I could probably make it now, but of course it's more appropriate.
Yeah. But, it's funny, like, 'cause you wait for, like, it's all cold and gross, and you wait for summer, and then it's like, okay, I'm tired of the heat, I'm ready for fall. Although I would be happy somewhere where it was mid 70s to high 80s with not too high humidity, a little bit of humidity. I don't like dry heat out there in the desert, but I'd be happy. That's where I'd be happy.
I'd be happy in like hoodie weather, but still like some days where it's a bit warmer too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fall.
Something like that.
That's fall here.
So one thing I wanted to tell you, we got mentioned on someone's YouTube live video. Thanks to Andy Someta. He sent me the link and he sent me the timestamp and I checked. He goes by Taylor Exchange on YouTube. He has 5.84K subscribers. He had mentioned that he was listening to our podcast. They had just started listening, and it was really cool. But the thing that really threw me off is one of the other resellers here in my town looks almost just like him, and I thought it was him that had started a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh my gosh, but he looks almost the same as him, which is pretty funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then I did a live yesterday, and he actually hopped on and chilled out there for a while. So that's really cool. So
Taylor Exchange. Yeah. I will.
And I know Kevin's mentioned us in his videos and Dave, but of course this is like some person we don't know that has mentioned our podcast, which is amazing.
Nice. So. Woohoo.
That's fun.
Did we get any new follows from that? That's the question.
I'm not sure, but
I haven't looked at our stuff lately.
One of my my friends sent, he likes to check like stats on like my YouTube, but also he knows about Flippin' Fantastic too. And looks like our episode 30, Summer Doldrums, is doing really well for some reason.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's the title or what, but for some reason.
I feel like we've been so low energy the last couple days. Not like, meh, but just like, we're just like, and it's, it's summer and it's hot and we're tired. And like, you're like talking about being a little burnout from listing, and it's funny though. Oh, cool. Cool. Awesome.
I haven't checked the stats personally on Flippin' Fantastic. Actually, I should just switch over to that anyways, then I could check. But back into the burnout thing you had mentioned, I decided to list for the first time in a while yesterday. Like actually stand at my listing table and list. So I did a YouTube live and I listed. I usually average about one thing per 10 minutes when I'm live. Yeah. For some reason yesterday, I have had like my normal sales has been kind of meh because I haven't been listing. I've still been selling stuff. But for some reason yesterday, it spiked up to like 3 or 4 times what it has been on average the past few days. But I haven't sold anything that I had listed except for one thing, which a viewer had purchased on the live. So awesome. That's back to the thing where people are talking about where you like for the algorithm, list more to sell. Right. So, because like it's been kind of slow. But yeah, we did actually gain quite a few subscribers in the past 3 days. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's only people that have like public YouTube profiles. Because I know if they're private, it won't tell you if like you got to subscribe, like specifically who subscribed. But
right. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who subscribed.
Yes.
I will say I didn't listen. Like I said, I was doing some other things this weekend, like, and taking some me time. And I didn't list anything this weekend. But, and I'm going to knock on wood, my sales, like the last few days, they're not your sales. But it has been ka-chinging quite a bit. Over the weekend, I sold like, I think I mailed out like 6 things. I sold like another 3 yesterday, and I'm almost, I'm like I think I sold something else. So I think I'm at 5 since I packed up stuff today. And, I wanted to be at 550 and I'm barely hanging on to 500. I think. Yeah, I'm at 502.
Yeah, I'm like, when I was doing the live yesterday, I was looking at, because I was like, right before I had kind of like slacked off, I was right at 1550. Like that was my like largest amount of items I've ever listed. And then I looked, I'm at 1,515 now. Yeah. But of course, in the past 24 hours, I've also sold quite a bit. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm going to try to get back up to that number, I think. Yeah. But it's just getting back into it. Like, I let myself fall off of it, and the hardest part is getting back into, like, making progress like I was, say, a couple of weeks ago.
Right. I got to get back into it, too, because, like, when I didn't feel good, I didn't, I slacked off, but but my sales have picked up, even without, like, listing anything in the last several days. And the funny thing is, I'm, like, trying to see what I'm buying, or what people are buying, because some of the stuff I've sold has been like super, like I was like, oh, easy shippers this weekend. Some of it is old stuff, like stuff I've had on my eBay store for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people don't, but some people do. And I learned it from the Rebel Resells. So go watch her channel, her Rebel and her husband Robert. She li- she and that's where I got it from. She to uh end and sell similar. So anything that's coming up, like anything I just sort in the red, and it's coming up for its renewal date, I'll just end and sell similar. Now some days I forget, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it this weekend. But I had been really good about it before that. I was doing every day. I was going in, if it was one or two things or if it was 50 things, like I was doing it. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
selling like the crap out of some old stuff that's been sitting
That's
there.
really good.
Yeah. So I'm kind of excited about that. Also, I think maybe people are doing a little bit of back to school shopping. Um I don't know. But I don't know what else to say about the fact that people are actually buying my stuff.
And Q4 is coming up too,
Well,
which is
that's the
like
other
a
thing,
huge
Q4,
thing.
yeah. So, and I haven't sold anything like Q4-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I've sold like 2 mugs, and they're nothing I'm selling is like big money. It's all like, in the, I'm gonna say like $12 to $20 range, $20-ish
Mm-hmm.
range. I sold a few things that were a little bit more than that, but man, it adds up, when you actually get more than one sale at a time.
Yes.
And so I am happy, and I was like, it's kind of getting me remotivated again
Like
because
how
I
like
too,
beneficial it is to hear that cha-ching and be like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, like
I mean,
excited.
yeah, because when I am feel good, I mean, you kind of, when you don't get to do what you were doing, you don't get, I got out of my motivation, and I wasn't selling anything much anyway, even when I was listing, but I know list and sell.
Mm-hmm.
But then I didn't feel good and I didn't list, and I was like, oh, I'm not selling anything anyway. But anyway, it's coming, people. It's coming back. We're coming back from the summer slowdown.
We're getting our mojo back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So,
and then talking about sales, did you have anything that was like super amazing? That's like, wow, like
no.
I'm looking here, my stuff has basically been kind of bread and butter. Like just I finally
Yeah.
sold some like bigger bulk items that I've been holding on to, or like I actually did sell a Christmas stocking. It was Matilda Jane brand, so it was like very floral. It's like bright green with
Yeah.
flowers on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very springy looking. For some reason, I sold that just now, or like just within the past few days. I did
Yeah.
sell Scooby Doo backpack, which makes sense because it's back to
Yeah.
school time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than that, it's been like I've been listing a lot of like smalls, like little keychains and little like I sold a little Kirby vacuum sales keychain, but it was actually like a scratch and sniff on the back of the keychain that was mint. It was really weird.
Oh, that's
I've never
weird.
seen a scratch and sniff keychain.
No.
Um,
For a
yeah,
vacuum,
nothing.
too. That's so
Yeah, it's
weird.
like I don't know what it came off of, but lots of Vera Bradley going out, like little wallets and stuff like that. That's about it. Shoes, I've been trying to get out the door, but it's just I've been only able to sell my Birkenstocks and Doc Martens about. That's pretty much it.
Hmm.
None of my bread and butter shoes really lately.
And I think maybe soon with shoes, just because again, it's
Mm-hmm.
back to school. I don't know.
One
I
day I'm
sold a
about to
bit.
just go out in that trailer and just like bulk up a bunch of shoes and just throw them on Facebook and be like it's just super cheap. Just get them
Yeah,
out. Like that shelf could be used for so much more expensive items than shoes.
yeah,
We're working on it.
yeah. I haven't sold anything like major. I sold a Hager vase that was about well,
Ooh.
I sold it on. It was a little one. I sold an offer for like 18. I sold an old camouflage hat I had. The most I sold was I sold some sterling earrings for 25. Oh, and then I sold 2 dog pool floats for 25. That must be with shipping. Yeah, cuz I did free shipping. But yeah, nothing major. Nothing major, but a lot of little, or a lot of, smaller dollar that add up. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just happy that I'm hearing the ka-ching again because,
It's addicting to like
hmm
hear your phone go off. Like sometimes I don't have it on, but
yeah,
when I do realize that my phone ringer's on and you hear like, oh, I made a sale, and
like the yeah, like it was funny. So I told you like Sunday night I went on a investigation, and we didn't get
mm-hmm.
home. I didn't get home until like after 3, and I like got home. I get changed. I settled myself down. I lay down in bed, and I read for a little bit, and then I turned off the light, and I was going to sleep, and
Mm-hmm.
then ka-ching! I was like, it was like somebody bought something at like 4 in the morning on Sunday. I was like, okay,
There you
okay,
go.
I'm about that.
Yeah, like I
So,
was just sitting here playing video games and I'll make a sale. I'm like, oh, I just made a
hmm
sale while I was playing video games. Like,
yeah, it's
yep.
awesome. So, yeah, so I'm ready for quarter 4, and I have to clean up, and I have to get to listing some stuff because I did not. Well, I didn't list yesterday either because I did some back to school with my son, got him some stuff ready, and the other thing I was thinking of was like back to school shopping is because it is so close. Well, and some places have already started, but
Mm-hmm.
like East Coast, northern, normal places. We start either the week before or the week after Labor Day. I hated when they
Mm-hmm.
started the week when they it was shortly after I started teaching. They starting school the week before Labor Day. I hate it. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and I still hate it to this day. But anyway, so he's going to high school, my son. And he's going to this charter school, and most of the schools around here, and I have I'm not debating uniforms or dress codes or anything because I have mixed views of it being as a
Mm-hmm.
teacher and as somebody who wouldn't want to wear that stuff all the time. But so he has to wear, the khakis and a shirt, but this charter they like to be a little bougie, so they have to wear their little crest on it. So
Mm-hmm.
they have the PTO has a gently used shirt sale. So I guess you just donate stuff that's, where they donate it back if it doesn't fit or whatever. And the PTO does fundraiser. So we go
Mm-hmm.
in, and my son's tall and skinny right now. Probably an adult medium is the best bet. We first of all, we roll up, the line is wrapped around the school. It starts at 5. We roll up at about 4:55. The line.
Wow.
So not only are is it kind of the unofficial start to fourth quarter with back to school, but I think also that a lot more people are hopping on the secondhand bandwagon, especially when these stupid shirts, you know those stupid polos, they're not cheap. The embroidery for the thing is the cheapest part of it. That's only $5, but you know. Um, but anyway, the line's wrapped around the school. I make him hop out because I have to park way down. And then we waited for over a half an hour because they were just like letting people in as people came out because it's just a small space they were doing it in. And by the time we get in, there's no medium shirts left. So he's going to be in little baggy, large adult shirts. But they sold them for $5. So I
That's
got
pretty cheap.
5 shirts. I was like, wait, how much are these? Because I didn't even know. They're like
Mm-hmm.
$5. I'm like, get your 5 shirts, one for each day of the
There you go.
week.
I mean, it's
But
cheaper than
anyway.
Goodwill. Like at
Oh
least
yeah,
here, like they've.
absolutely, absolutely, and it goes back to the school, so it goes back to the PTA. So I was happy with it. He's fine. He doesn't, he's a boy. He doesn't give a crap. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, ugh. But I feel like for a long time, secondhand and thrifting, and there's certain things like about second, like it has to be in pretty good condition for me to, to want to buy it. Like I'm not buying somebody's raggy old shoes that smell. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But like I feel like so many more people, it's so much more mainstream now. Because like when I was like your age or something, you only went to Goodwill to get a Halloween costume. You know what I mean? Are you frozen? You're frozen. Am I frozen for you? Well, dang.
A few moments later.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello. You're
My
back.
computer just blue screened for some reason. That never happens.
Oh no. I'm like talking and I'm like, she hasn't moved in a while. I'm like,
well, I'm back.
You frozen? And I'm just
I don't know.
chatting away, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I don't even think she's taking a breath.
That's okay. You just kept it going for a little bit. All right, well, we're back. Well, you were talking about the shirts and the school sale.
Yeah, I was just talking about how I think like thrifting is so much more mainstream now. Like when I was like your age, young, you only, well, and I was never opposed to it, but you didn't go to Goodwill. You only went there for Halloween, and it's not like when I was your age, like we wore each other's, like your friends, you borrowed your friends' clothes, or like I have sisters, and you had hand-me-downs from when I was little. I'd get hand-me-downs from, I was the oldest. I didn't get too many, but like if I had an older I don't have an older cousin, but like older friends of ours. But my sisters wore hand-me-downs, but like it's so much more. Plus we have such a like, you get it. Like I mean, we find so much brand new stuff at thrifts and garage sales and stuff. Anyway, that was my point.
That's nice that your school does that though, because some I feel like just they're like, oh, here's the uniform that costs like I don't know how much uniforms cost for school, but
most of them are just like he had to wear it. They don't call it a uniform; it's a dress code. They have to wear like your basic khakis and a polo shirt. So, like where he went last year, they don't have to have the little embroidery thing on there, the school name or whatever. But I think with this one it does. They also had like new stuff. They were selling like spirit wear, like, but we had already been to a freshman thing where we got him a sweatshirt and a t-shirt and stuff. But yeah, it was nice. And I was like, because most of the shirts a couple of the shirts I got him aren't Land's End, but most of them are Land's End, and that's good for me because they last. Those polos are nice. They last. They hold up when you wash them a million times, because that's what I have gotten them in the past. Just because, I mean, I've gotten them other ones too, but the Land's End ones just seem to, I don't know, hold up better. So you get a little more bang for your buck, but they're not cheap. But these are Land's End, and I was expecting like $10 a shirt. It's like less than half price. But they were like $5. I was like, holla.
Load up.
Yep. But we were like about half. We could have got more if we got there a little bit earlier. It looks like my son's like, he's like, I could have camped out here. I was like, yeah, you just still woken up too late in the line to be wrapped around the building. But yeah, so that was good. And I just, like I said, I think it's so much more mainstream and acceptable to, and, I see young kids on Instagram, TikTok, oh, look what I thrifted, Whereas,
I like those thrift haul videos where people like do cute little outfits and stuff.
Yeah. Whereas, man, when I was young, well, we didn't have all the social media, but at the same time, like, you didn't tell anybody if you wanted to. You didn't brag about going to the thrift store. It's just how it was, So, anyway, all you thrifties, go on eBay too. Get yourself some used stuff on there.
Yes.
We got good stuff. We got
I was trying to think of what else we were going to talk about. I had something else, but of course it always escapes me while we're recording. Try and think. Yes, my death pile is still growing. I'm trying to like keep on top of it. Kind of like how you said it, but it's just I have like a bottleneck situation going on. So my trailer, my eBay trailer. Oh, speaking of, I got to talk about something else regarding the trailer. But my eBay trailer's full. The stuff that's all listed. My basement is getting pretty full, stuff that's unlisted, and so that just doesn't really motivate me to want to list, because then I have to figure out where it's going in the already full trailer. Right. On top of that, my husband had built me a clothes rack in the trailer. While I go in there on Sunday to pull orders, the top one had completely collapsed. So I was like, oh, so I just walk in and there's just clothes all over the floor. I'm like, awesome. No. And he fixes it right away. The issue is in that trailer, there's like particle board, or I don't know what else to call it, but it only is like maybe half an inch thick. Right. And then so it's metal. So like you can't get like super long screws or anything. Yeah. So he did a little fix. We'll hope that it doesn't fall, but I'm so glad, because I almost thought about putting glass on that top shelf because I have so much glass. Yeah. And I was like, thank God I didn't. There was just blankets up there, so it was all stuff that nothing broke. But I was That's like, good. It could have been worse. I could have had a glass mess in there. But yeah, and then on top of last week, I had found out that, well, I noticed that our post lady hadn't been picking up. Well, it's been other people, because we had cameras, and I know what my post lady's like looks like. Like I see her, I'm like, oh, it's her. All of last week I didn't see her, and I was like, shoot. I'm like, I hope she didn't quit. It's like she always picks up like the same time. She never misses a pickup. Yeah, she's great. All of last week it was like all different people, and I'm like, oh, I hope she didn't quit, and they're just like struggling to find somebody. Yesterday, the way her route works is she actually stops by my parents' place first, and then later in the day she'll stop by my place. Yeah. My parents saw her and they're like, oh, you're greatly missed. And she's like, oh yeah, I went to Sturgis with my boyfriend. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. I have some little collectible Harley motorcycles that I've been like kind of listing, and I wonder if I should just like leave one out for her and be like, here you go. So I guess that was last week, Sturgis? Yep. So she came back. Well, I don't know. She said that they were there longer than expected, I guess. But she's back now, so I'm happy. We didn't lose our post lady, because I'm like, I dread the day she's gone, because then I have to go deal with someone else and hope that they're as good as she is. She deserves her vacation. Yes. It was just unexpected. I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like, this first dude that I had like Monday and Tuesday of last week didn't pick up either day, and marked the pickup as complete. So I'd get an email saying, your package pickup was completed. I go outside, my packages are still there. Then I had submitted 2 complaints, because the first one I didn't get a response, and second one I sent it in like officially through USPS. Yeah. Like the first one I sent it directly to the postmaster, because I've gotten a hold of him before, because one of the substitutes for some reason thought they could park on my lawn. And I'm like, no, please don't do that. So anyways, I had an email, and they're like, if you had any other issues, reach out. And I did, and no response. But all of a sudden, like, all the other substitutes started picking up. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, I'm not putting out a lot. I'm like, I'm just putting out a few to see if you guys actually pick up. Right. So that way, if you don't, I can just like go to the post office. Yeah. And my mom came in clutch a couple times last week. She was like, oh, do you need packages to go to the post office? And she came and picked some up and took them all for me. So that was great. That's nice. But because the way they do it is like, the substitutes usually come so late at night that the post office is already closed. Right. So it's like, if I find out they don't pick up, I can't just like go take them. I have to wait till the next day and hope that maybe that substitute picks up. If not, yeah. It's a whole mess. But anyways, I'm happy. That's good. Back to our normal. Yes. Yes. But I hope she had a good time. Yes. I totally forgot that was last week, but it's probably a good time to list all your, like right before or after Sturgis is probably a good time to list all your motorcycle gear, motorcycle stuff. Because people are probably buying it all over just to
You find stuff.
I think there's multiple Sturgises, I think. Or I don't know if it moves every year or what, but
well,
I think there's...
I looked it up, and I guess it just ended Sunday. It's like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
It said it was the 4th
Oh.
the 13th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that long of an event.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's cool for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't find a lot of motorcycle. I mean,
I feel like
there's people who
here
ride
there's a
motorcycles,
lot.
but I feel like you're in Harley country out there.
There's a lot of motorcycle people here.
There's a lot of there's people that ride motorcycles, but a lot of people ride the race bikes around here and stuff. Act stupid on them.
There's a lot of accidents around here too.
Yeah. Plus we got a lot of like dirt bike people riding on the street acting a fool.
Oh boy.
So that's been like a big problem lately. But yeah, I don't find a lot of... But if you have it, like you said, sell it. Put it up. I know, when I watch you like Midwesterners and like, so you'll see like a video and somebody goes to a garage sale and they like have like, a gigantic pile of Sturgis t-shirts and they're buying them up. I've never seen one in the wild.
I've seen some here, but I just don't know enough to grab them.
Yeah.
I like Harley leather jackets I'll pick up because I've sold, or not even Harley, but like Victory motorcycles. I've sold one of those before. Mm-hmm. But I think any of those,
any kind of motorcycle stuff, yeah. Well, that's another. It's it's really expensive new, and if it's got it in good condition, somebody rides will buy it.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see what else. I guess I could go over some comments.
Yeah.
From our videos. We got quite a few. This is from our last video. We got quite a few. Let me just open it up so it's easier to go through and like. We got a new commenter. They go by Scully Star Fashion. In a bunch of characters. Just found you. Cool podcast. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Scully Star Fashion.
Just let us know what you want us to call you. Amy Beach by Repeat. What is your craziest garage, estate, church, auction, sale experience you've had? I was at a garage sale where spontaneous fire started on a table. It was teeny and quickly put out. Wow.
What? How did it start? Amy, we need more detail. How did it start? What happened? I want to know.
Like, just on a table of clothes? Like, was there a lighter anywhere?
Was somebody like burning a candle? Yeah. Somebody put their cigarette out.
Craziest garage sale experience I've had. I can't think of one. People here at garage sales are pretty mellow.
Yeah, same here. They don't like... There's not... Occasionally you get somebody chatty, but most people just are just like sitting there.
I guess one thing I saw at a sale that was kind of crappy that happened, there was this mom with a younger son and then an even younger daughter, and she told the son, like, go pick out like a toy for your sister. And he was standing there at a table with like some Barbie stuff, and he's like, oh, do you want this or do you want this? And all of a sudden this other lady is this family of people that spoke Spanish. I don't really think they spoke English. They just walk up, go right in front, grab it, and like walk. And the kid was like, hey, like, I was gonna get that for my sister.
They took it out of his hands?
No, like right onto the table. He's like standing right there. So he didn't really claim it yet, but I was just kind of like, they just kind of came up and grabbed it, and I was just like,
kind of rude.
And they just gave it to them. I don't think they knew what to do, but and then there's been other sales where people just let their kids run around at sales and just make messes or run towards the street, and like the parents just sit there shopping and just yelling at them, but not actually doing anything. But other than that, that's like pretty much it.
I will say I haven't come across too many like terrible children at any sales, but I'm always baffled by, so, we're going into an estate sale or something, let's say. It's 9 times out of 10, these houses are small, because it was some older person that died and it was a house that was built, 60s, 70s around here. And they're smaller than some of the newer houses, right? And they're bringing all their kids, they got the wagon full of kids. And I'm like, and I will say, in the kids' defense, that I haven't run into any of them being like horrific children. So good for the parents, I guess. But bringing kids to stuff like that, little ones, where there's like a lot of
even like a church sale too,
and,
like
yeah, it ups my anxiety. Like, I would never bring my kid to something like that. I wouldn't go if I couldn't get somebody to watch them. And sometimes I'm like, both parents are there. I'm like, one of y'all needs to stay home with these kids. Because then the other thing is like, if you're going into a sale where like, it's limited space, you're taking up space with all your whole family with you. Mm-hmm. And where some of us could get in, I don't know.
I feel like at church sales, I get so frustrated with people because, of course, there's people that like to block the aisles, and some of these church sales, they make those aisles so like, in order to pass somebody, you have to like turn your backs to each other and like do a little switcheroo, and like, but yeah, usually at the sales, I get pretty frustrated because I'm walking around lugging my huge IKEA bag full of stuff and right? trying not to knock in the things and people and tables and
Yeah, that was, I think I talked about it last time, but it was a church sale a couple weeks ago, and it's tiny. It's in a tiny little church basement, and they just make a big O out of tables, and they stand in the middle, and there's no room. And I will say this, not any little kids there, but they put the jewelry, and it's only in double that. That's just where they put the jewelry. And they always have like decent jewelry, but these old ladies you can't get in. Like they just stand there forever. And there was one lady
probably go through every single piece.
Like, I can't even get in to see the jewelry. I go, and you won't, don't bother. Like, I don't even look at the jewelry at this one. I don't. Because you can never get in, and where they need to put it somewhere else or spread it out, like maybe have necklaces in one place, and I know why they put it in one place to keep an eye on it, but like some church sales I've been to, well, most church sales I've been to have the jewelry in one place spread out, but you pay for it there. I don't know but the other big church sales that I go to do that. You look at the jewelry, you get your jewelry, you pay for it there, they bag it and staple it so that, which I think is a better system than this system, but whatever.
I've also been to some where they get like a little like poster board and they like hang up everything on it, which I really like.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. They did have necklaces hanging up on the side, but like you couldn't see the earrings or anything, and they had like nice brooches. But yeah, but luckily there were no little kids at that one. But yeah, the taking, and it's not you, it's a millennial thing. The taking your children everywhere you go. I have a cousin. She's got triplets and a 4-year-old.
No.
Like 3-year-old triplets. They'll take them everywhere. They take them to the beer garden. They take them to the brewery. They take them here. They take them there. They got one of those, $1,000 wagons they put them in.
Wow. I don't have the patience. I don't.
Well, you're not even having kids, so
I barely have the patience to take my husband with me to sales sometimes. Like I can't imagine children.
Me too.
Because I'm the type of person, I hyper focus and I like look at everything, and then he's all ahead. He's like, babe, look at this, babe, look at this, babe, look at this. I'm like, I'm getting there. Like I like to start at one end and go. But of course, like sometimes he's found some decent stuff and gone ahead.
Yeah, that's how mine is too. But I'm like, I make him hold, like when we've gone he comes to a couple of the big sales with me and holds the bags. Here, hold these 2 big IKEA bags, and I just find them and put stuff in there.
There you go.
But
there you go.
And I don't even, I took the son to the school shirts at the school shirt sale, but he was like, okay, and I made him. I said, make sure they have all their buttons and there's no holes. So we were all good. And then he's like, he wants to go, but he's not a. I mean, and like I said, I haven't run into any little kids that were like dying, having a meltdown, but
there was one sale I remember going to,
but not at garage sales yet or anything.
For me, it's in both, but there was one time I actually had worn a GoPro to some sales, and at this one sale, this kid was just having a meltdown, and like I had to like mute part of the footage because he was just like sitting there and crying to cry, and it was just I was just like, I can't put this in my video, and I can't, like, I don't want to subject other people to listen to that.
Yeah, and then the parents, they just stay there with them, like just.
I know when I was a kid and like one of us would act up or start crying, we were taken out of wherever we were immediately. Yeah,
that's how you
out to
did
the car
it back
like,
in the day.
Yep.
See, because your parents are my age, and that's what they did with us, and that's what we do with our kids. But there's a whole chunk in the middle that lets them cry. I've been in Goodwills when that's going on, and like there'll be like another lady, and the lady's like, this is not a true scenario, but it usually happens. Like somebody else is in there, and like somebody will look at each other and be like, time to take the child home. And there's nothing here you need that bad. Like the kid is telling you they're done, and you're subjecting the kid is not comfortable, and no one else is because they're screaming, like, because look, I have sympathy for that because I had a kid and it happens, but like I don't have any sympathy when you just let your kid scream. Or I was in Goodwill, and the kid rode a bike everywhere.
Like throughout the store?
Every aisle. Yes. And the Goodwills around here are not big. They're small. The aisles are small. And you got this kid on a little bike with training wheels riding up and down the aisles. And they're just shopping. I'm like,
wow.
Come on. That's usually I leave. If they don't leave, when I
had worked at the local Goodwill, I remember if there was anything with wheels, scooters, bikes, or anything, they had us zip tie the wheel like to the frame of whatever, so that way that wouldn't happen. And I was like, that's smart. But like,
I mean, I get, and then you can say, okay, well, if you want to put the kid on it or ask somebody if you can try it, like go try it out in front on the sidewalk or something, but like don't be riding it through the store. I don't know, you don't ride them through the Target or wherever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Anyways, next comment.
So keep your kids at home.
Or on a leash or something. Just keep them at bay. Like, I don't care usually if there's children at sales, but it's when they're screaming and crying. That freaks me out. Yeah. I hate when kids scream and cry. Whatever.
Well, and everybody else does too. And apparently those parents don't. And you don't have to bring every family member into the tiny little house estate sale. Oh, I know what I was going to say. We went to the uniform sale yesterday, and they were like, as people left, they were letting people in, and they had a table for each size with the piles of the shirts, and then off to the other side they had the new stuff, the spirit wear you paid separate. So it was just in the foyer part of the school. It was small, so they couldn't let everybody in at once. Well, I'm watching, and I understand maybe it's a cultural thing, but there's certain, like, you have one kid, the kid's with you, mom, dad, grandparents, and like little kids. Like, you didn't need to bring everybody with you to get you shirts for school. I
have no idea. For me, like going to sales, the less people, the better. Like,
right.
Of course, I don't mind like bringing a friend or my husband or my mom or whoever, but
well, yeah. I get one or
bringing more
two
than
of you
one person with me, like whether or not it's a child. No, I can't.
No. No. Well, I'm just like, you're just taking a broom. There wasn't anything to see. It wasn't any kind of open house. It wasn't,
Maybe they thought it was like, maybe they read some ad or something, thought it was a huge clothing sale. I don't know.
I don't know. It was
I know here when there's clothing sales, there are so many families that will go to those and just dig through the tables and like find clothes for everybody. And I'm like, cool.
I kind of get that if you're if you're bringing whoever you're shopping for, because if they want to try something on, but like it was quite obviously only one kid. Like, and there were some people, there were some moms there that had multiple kids that go, so they had a bunch of kids with them.
That's cool that they do that though, really, because anyways, geez, Amy, asking the real questions here, getting a little little discussion. Yeah, there you go. Do another one. Okay. We have Southern Talk. I don't think I've seen them comment. They said there is a sort feature on Facebook for newest listed. Actually, now that you do say that, I did actually figure that out this last weekend because I was like, there's not a lot of sales, so I'm gonna check out. I'm telling
Facebook you, Marketplace, I do that, and it still doesn't do it.
Let me see. I know it's better like on the phone. I think I can actually do it like sort better on the phone because right now like I'm just on Facebook Marketplace and I don't see I don't see anywhere that would let me change that. All I see is today's picks and that's it. Like I don't see, but on my phone I'm pretty sure I can sort better. Like I can search garage sale and do like posted within the last 24 hours, which is what I did. But I don't see how you can do that here on browser. So if someone knows how to do that on the computer, that'd be cool.
When I usually look, I usually am sitting on the computer and looking, just because that's what I usually look on. But where do you
you on the phone, you go to Marketplace, search garage sales or whatever. And then at the top, you see the little lines with the dot on them because you see like a bookmark symbol and then those lines. And you can do date listed. And there's like last 24 hours, last 7 days, last 30 days. But I don't see that for browser Facebook.
See, that's not on. I don't know if it's like because I have Android. I just have.
Oh, yeah, I do have an iPhone. So
price. I have sort filter by price. Delivery condition. I don't have
That's it?
Yeah.
What? Okay, someone with an Android, help us out. Because I have an iPhone. Sale. Huh. All right, well.
Yeah.
We'll get this figured out. We'll get this figured out here.
Let me complain a little bit more about that before we move on. Because I will say that, so I told you there wasn't a lot of sales. I was on my phone yesterday, later in the day, and I got a Facebook notification, and I open it, and it is for a garage sale that happened on Saturday. Like, why are you sending this to me now? It's like, oh, you might be interested in this. Well, yeah, I would have been interested in it on Saturday. Maybe Friday night. Not Monday night. Thank you,
I hate it when people post sales and then don't take them down, so you see sales from... But we kind of talked about that last time.
Yeah,
but
you see them from like last year. You're like, oh, there's one. Oh, no, 2022. Yeah, I don't know how to... And so the sorting by date thing, I don't know. I wish people would put them, when they put their stuff up, will put the date in the top in there. And then I've seen sales and you don't even like, well, when is it? They don't put any dates. But Facebook
I had that happen a couple times last
something.
Weekend. Okay, what else? Oh, biscuit butt. I don't know what this comment is referring to. I don't know if it's referring to like one of the return situations one of us had, but he said, you can't buy toilet paper from Walmart, use it, then flush it, and demand your money because it wasn't soft enough. Was it regarding one of our return stories or something? Because I know I was talking about like, I was talking about that blow mold.
Yeah.
Which they messaged me and I'm just like, hey, like if you can't provide proof that it was broken or return anything, like sorry,
Can't
like
help you.
you can't just tell me it's broken. Like you can't just like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Anyways,
that's what he's referring to. Did whatever happened with that? Is the return
it's
just
still
still
the
sitting
return
there?
is still open. They haven't sent anything. They messaged me, and of course I told them like, hey, like I need proof. Because apparently it's damaged, but you threw it away the day you got it, and apparently the trash man picks it up right away too. So,
Yeah.
like no proof at all. Like
Mhm.
I can't just return, assuming that it actually did break without proof.
Even not being an eBay seller, wouldn't your first thing be like if you got something and it arrived damaged? Wouldn't your first instinct be to show the person, look, it came broken? Like, because it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my first instinct. If I got something
And unfortunately,
in the
with
mail
people
from...
that are always like trying to get like partials and stuff, it's kind of like ruin that, because then there's someone that successfully gets a partial and then they try to do it to the next person,
I
or
know.
like refunds
Stop
and all that.
giving partials. I mean, I would, and look, there is always the exception to the rule. If you made a mistake, you didn't disclose something, or I don't know, you shipped them the wrong thing, the wrong size, something. If you made the mistake and they're happy with a partial, then do it. That's the only reason I would ever do it, is if I messed up.
Yeah, like one time I actually did send a partial, which I feel like it was all truthful. I sent out like a Rachel Ray. It was like a big pot. It was huge, and it was in the box, and it had like styrofoam, it's fitted for it.
Yeah.
I sent it exactly that way, and they were like, "Hey, I got it. It has a big chip on like one of the handles or something." And they sent me a picture, and like, yeah, they could have, I guess, maybe had one of the same pot that was chipped and sent a picture. But I was just like, you know what? I'm like, and I didn't want them to ship it back, so I was like, I think I gave them like $10 for that.
Yeah.
And that was at the beginning of my whole reselling journey. I think like once I had moved here and started like doing more full time stuff, but
Yeah.
like stuff like that, like where it got damaged, they can send proof. And they're willing to take a refund without it getting sent back. Cool. Right. But anyways.
Yeah, but otherwise, no. Don't. Especially if you're fairly new, too, because you'll always get
they'll
that.
Try. Like I even had the same with when I bought a huge lot of Funkos, like the Funko Pops. I had set one out, and this person's like, "Oh, it arrived damaged. It was completely smashed in the box, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, "Sorry to hear that. Can you send proof?" Never heard from them again. Yeah. No response ever again. And it's like, oh,
because,
okay.
Because like a new seller would be, they're counting on them being nervous and want to keep their 100% feedback, and, all that, being scared and, oh no, I messed up. But yeah, they're playing you.
ABC Matt says, "What is the video game you're playing, Alicia, so I know not to get stuck in it, LOL." And then my friend Shekel responds, "League of Legends." Yes, you're correct. League of Legends. Don't play it, guys. It's a bad game. It's a very toxic game. Yeah, don't play it. I'm just playing it because, I don't know. I have a goal. But anyways, that's all I can say about that game. The Biscuit Butt responded again. "I'm number 6 listener of hopefully 1,000. One day we'll maybe have 1,000 listeners. Maybe one day we'll be as famous as a Trash to Cash podcast, but
maybe.
And that's all the comments. Actually, I'm making sure. I thought I saw possibly another comment on another video. Nope, that was it. We got all the comments. Thanks for the comments, guys. We really appreciate them.
Thank you.
Especially if they spark we spark some conversation.
Some hot comments about stop bringing your kids places where they don't need to be. Or if they're crying, take them out.
Yes. Like, I remember, like, being kids, like, if you start crying or acting up, you were taken out instantly. Like,
yeah.
No BS. You were taken out.
Exactly.
Anymore, I don't really experience that.
Nope.
Like, I mean, like, with other people, but Teach their own. I don't have much to say about it.
I will say in defense of my cousin with all her children, they will take any that are crying out of the picture. They do remove them, but they are typical millennials. They like to take their kids everywhere. I'll
take my animals everywhere. Well, I take my dog everywhere, but she's a bit large and gets really excited around people. So
that's how I would take my dog too if he was cool and would like sit and chill while you sat outside and ate somewhere. Mm-hmm. But he wants to be everybody's best friend. Jump on him.
Yes.
There's a place here. We have like a lot of, the DuPonts were here. So we have all these old like mansions and museums and stuff. And there's this place, it's right over the line in Pennsylvania. It's called Longwood Gardens. And that's exactly what it was. It's like some old DuPont estate, but now it's like curated gardens and they have different things going on at different times of year. And they have they have like these Italian Renaissance fountains and they do shows. And at Christmas time, they really bling it up over there. And it's a big thing to go and look at the lights. And we used to go all the time, like either before or just after Christmas, because, and you walk around, they have like hot cocoa stands and it's cool. Fun. It's pretty. It's something to do. Well, we haven't been back in a while because my parents would go with us and they're not up for all that. It's a lot of walking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of strollers. Like everybody's bringing their baby out in the freezing cold weather to look at Christmas lights. Your 6-month-old baby isn't going to remember this. Stop it. Like it's wall to wall strollers. And one of my friends and I were like, I haven't even been. I was telling her like, I don't think we've been since before the, lockdown, all that. I said, because the last time we went, it was just like so crowded and it was like every other person had a stroller. I don't know. I'm just, it makes me sweat thinking of it. Taking kids in strollers everywhere. Makes me anxious. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's
like, it makes me anxious to lug around a big IKEA bag full of stuff. I couldn't imagine lugging around like anything else.
Although, sometimes I'm like, I wish I had a little shopping cart, like those little kind of upright ones that they have in the city that or the homeless people have sometimes. At places, I'm like, I need one of those.
Yeah, there you go.
I actually saw an advertisement for one. I don't know what I was on social media, and it was like it goes upstairs, like it had like it goes easily upstairs, like they were dragging it up the stairs.
Oh, that's cool. Especially for those church sales in the basement, so you don't have to worry about bringing it upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yup. But yeah, I need some more IKEA bags because my death pile, I have stuff sitting in my IKEA bag. I went to the post office earlier and I was like, I need a bag. All my IKEA bags have stuff in them. I'm so ashamed. I got a grocery bag. Oh, because my stuff, I didn't have anything big, but
now that you mention that, I know I have like 3 eBay IKEA bags. I have one that I usually keep in my car. I don't usually carry it around at sales because I'm like, I don't want like anybody to know that I like sell on eBay. I don't know. Yeah. To me, it's kind of weird carrying around eBay branded bag at a garage sale.
Yeah, mine are just.
So I usually use my Commonwealth Picker one, and then like I'll transfer it. And I know I have 3 of them, but now that you mentioned IKEA bags, I have 3, but I don't know where they are. I know where at least 2 of them are. I wonder if the 3rd one, I still have it all wrapped up all nice, still in the packaging and like stored away.
I want to go get some of the orange ones.
Target's been selling some too.
Have they? I'll have to go and look. Man, I haven't seen them at my Target, but it was empty.
I wonder if you could get them online. Actually, probably order them on Target online.
We don't, which is weird to me because we don't have sales tax in Delaware. So a lot of stores like to build like here because we're off the highway. So if you're in like, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, people will come and shop here. But there's two IKEAs, but one's in Philly and one's right outside of Philly, which is kind of weird. And then there is one in Maryland. We're just like, it's kind of weird that they didn't choose to build one in Delaware. But I haven't been to one in a while. I might take a drive and get some bags. I went the oranges. I didn't see anything like that at were they big bags at Target?
Yes, they're like IKEA style, like huge. But I haven't seen them at mine. I don't know if they're
I didn't
doing
see
only
them.
specific stores or what, but
The last time I was at Target was when I went to Bath and Body Works, because they're in like a strip mall next to each other. And the Target was like, I was like, was yesterday Good Friday? Or not Good Friday, Black Friday?
not sure.
Because it was empty. I'm
Oh.
like, man, I don't know if like everybody had done back to school shopping a couple weeks ago. It was like,
Maybe
they were out there trying to stock the shelves, but the shelves were empty, and I didn't notice any bags like that. But I'm gonna have to go and look, because then I wouldn't have to drive to IKEA. But I always like to go to IKEA because then it's just a fun trip.
Fun, just walk around.
Yeah.
Get ideas.
But yeah, that's mine.
That's all I got.
Hopefully, I didn't have any ka-chings during this podcast, but hopefully
Me neither. Actually, oh no, I had one, but it was right before we had started recording, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And I've got a ton of orders. Yes, and I have a ton of orders to get caught up on, and hopefully
you gotta
next
go
week,
pack more.
my goal is to be a little bit closer back to my 1550 again by next week. I'm hoping to get my crap in order this week and
I would
get
like
some more
to
listing.
Well, I'm at 502. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, I'm slow or something. I don't know. I need to like go somewhere and buy like something that's like all the same, so it's easier to take pictures of. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I take so long.
I need to do some clothing listing this week at some point, because
me too.
Despite my clothing rack collapsing, it actually wasn't filled to the brim. I actually had some empty hangers on it too, like because I had sold stuff and then I didn't have anything to replace it with.
Yeah.
So I actually have to I have a pile. Actually, I have 2 big totes full of like clothing and blankets and stuff like that I wait to list until I have space. Yeah. So now I can do that because I actually do have some hangers that are free. So
you remind me, I have some blankets I have to list. I want to wash them first, because they've just kind of been sitting around and just smell like old house, But I've got to do that this week. I hate listing them though, because if I want to spread them out like on the floor, like to show, I gotta like be extra like it's like no matter how much you vacuum, there's still dog hair.
Yeah. I actually almost thought about taking blankets out onto like my porch, in my back porch, to take a picture there. I've done that with like car mats. I took them out on my back porch, and it actually ended up really nice because it has the natural sunlight and you can see everything. I've thought about doing that with blankets, because like the way I take pictures of blankets, I don't like it, but it's what I can do for now. Yeah. So.
All right.
Anyways, well, you guys have a great weekend, and we will see y'all next week. Leave some more good comments, please. I enjoyed reading the comments this week.
Thank you, and thank you to was it all the new people that posted?
Yes, the new people.
And thank you to Taylor Exchanges. That's right? Who mentioned us? Thank you. Woohoo! All right,
y'all.
bye.
Goodbye.